is so rare these days that we actually encounter real people who can actually speak their mind without either being fired from their job or banned on some type of platform or demonized by an individual or their friend or their family member. Because everyone in today's world is completely enslaved. And I don't mean physically anymore, but literally mentally and spiritually enslaved. I am semi-retired. I'm 23 years old. And I do not have a cap on the type of content that I can create. So I am completely free to actually speak on these topics that need to be spoken on. In the same way that our Master Christ, Yeshua, who many of you know as Jesus, was actually able to speak on these topics fearlessly because his boss was God. His boss was not his earthly master employing him and paying him at a 9-to-5 job like the majority of us, unfortunately. His boss was God. So he didn't have a cap, he didn't have a filter that he had to put or a limit on how he could actually speak the word of God. And that's why people hated him. And that's why the Jews hated him, and that's why the Romans killed him. And that's just the way it is. But me, on my channel, I do not have this cap, okay? And so yes, I have free will to speak on these topics that many people are afraid to talk about. And that's a reason why many people will not want to ever collaborate with me on YouTube, because they're scared. Because too many of you are scared. So many of you who are actually working in the spiritual field are literal sellouts in every possible definition of the word, because you don't want to talk about a certain topic because you're afraid that a bunch of people are going to unfollow you, which they definitely will, I'm sure, as it goes out of your, whatever you consider as being acceptable to talk about, right, for your means and your platform and your channel type of content. And because you're gonna lose a bunch of revenue in the process of doing it. So you're a complete sellout if you also don't want to talk about these topics, which should be said, and actually enlighten people in the way that our Master Christ does. Because at my School of Light, which you can join us with the link down below, by the way, it's free for your first 7 days, we teach about the teachings of Yeshua, the hidden gospels and the hidden history that this world does not want you to know about, and that you will not learn in your regular schools, colleges, and universities. We teach about it in my School of Light, and we represent true light bearers who are not afraid to stand up, speak the truth, stand up for their rights, and actually emit a true frequency of freedom. Freedom in every sense of the word, because every one of you nearly watching this and who are, going to about their jobs are enslaved completely. So we're here for you. We're here to help you break free from this matrix. As I mentioned, I'm 23 years old, but I'm semi-retired. I do not have to work for a boss for the rest of my life until 60, like a lot of you guys. And I know that everyone has their own path, so there's no disrespect, but I'm simply telling you that this is my path, and I have been sent here to help others like you break away from the system. I live literally in the middle of nowhere, okay? I'm not bound to any particular system. Okay, yeah, there are still some aspects of life which are centralized, like, for example, you have your electric bills, you have your gas and water and whatever like that. But, for the most part, me and my family, we do our best to live free from that system. So that's why I teach other people at my School of Light how they can do the same. And that's about it. So, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I started off my channel content just simply, channeling light language and making Reiki healings, but that ultimately is not going to lead to the full enlightenment of humanity. So God calls me to take it a step deeper and actually speak. And that's something that many of you will never do. You're too scared. So if you want to actually hear the truth, get enlightened on the facts that none of these other spiritual gurus that you follow are going to teach you about, then check out my School of Light. Join us. Link down below.